thought I had.
Yeah. We'll call tonight's meeting of the Boyd City Council to order. Mandy, would you take a roll call, please?
Raymond Ponto,
Present.
Kent Miller,
Present.
Lee McMillan,
Here.
Tony Dingler,
Yes.
Matt Oddie,
Here.
Lloyd Luttrell,
Present.
Andrew Graybon.
Present. Thank you. If you'd stand with me for the invocation. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight again for guidance and for us to make the right decisions for our great community, which we're so fortunate to live in. We ask you to be with our farmers in our area as they bring in an abundant crop, and be with those in the elevators that are receiving this crop for the long hours, and protect them and keep them safe, and for all the work that they're doing to help our community to become more prosperous. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Andrew, do you have anything?
No, it's not.
Okay, thank you. Tony?
I guess I'm gonna say the downtown looks nice and festive for fall here. It does.
Yeah,
Looks
really
good.
does. And it stands out for sure. Raymond?
I have nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Lee?
No, sir.
Ken?
Had the opportunity to attend the annual meeting of the Kansas Municipalities here a couple of weeks, last week. Yeah. And those of you that haven't ever gone, I would highly recommend that you go if you can. I know it's takes up a 3-day weekend pretty much, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but it is an excellent opportunity to network with a lot of other individuals from different communities throughout the state. And it also gives you an idea that a lot of them are dealing with the same, I'll call it, situations that we are within our community here. But it's a very highly valuable conference, and I truly recommend everybody go. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Ken. Matt?
Just wanted to point out that early voting begins tomorrow, so if you want to get out and be sure they're heard, it's time to do it.
So we early vote off. Thank you. Lloyd?
Yes, two things. I was requested by careful people to ask if the city is going to have a meeting, public meeting, to discuss the voting on our item that we have on the ballot. And because they were needing information about it, they didn't understand what they were voting for or
That's a good question.
and the other thing is, what was it? Oh, yes, consent agenda. Can we divide that into votes? Because I wasn't here, I can't vote on one of the items on there because I wasn't in attendance last.
Okay, that'd be fine.
That's all I have.
Is there a meeting planned, a public meeting for, with leadership of the county or anything for?
Yeah, they're doing the leadership in Mitchell County. Yeah, the 24th at the Kettle. I know that. I think with who's the representative, Susan McCann.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be an opportunity that LMC's organized for people to hear about it and talk about it. And then I put together and had Katie look at, kind of like I talked last week, a piece to go in the utility billing, just kind of a informational sheet. So again, they know what to vote for. So I'll pass that around a little bit so you guys can kind of see that. But
Will that be advertised at some point? I haven't seen anything about it.
There has been some ads along.
Has it?
Yeah, I haven't heard it, but there is confusion out there. I had a person ask me how come they're doing away with the mayor position.
And I think as we get closer, I think that's where last time we talked about too is, maybe some people from LMC or mayor or myself kind of get on the radio, just kind of at least talk about what it is, so people can make a good choice, but,
Okay, thank you, guys. Katie, do you have anything at this time?
Sure don't, thank you.
Jason?
not the same.
Okay, thank you. We have no public comment this evening, so the next item on the consent agenda, and we'll do this in two parts tonight. I entertain a motion to approve the October 4th council meeting minutes.
So moved.
Been moved by Councilman Ponton, do I have a second? Second by Councilman McMillan. Any discussion? Mandy, would you take a roll call vote on that, please?
McMillan,
Yes.
Gingler,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Audi,
Yes.
Graybon,
Yes.
Ponto,
Yes.
and then Lloyd Rickman.
Abstain.
Next item on the agenda is appropriations 10B. Entertain a motion for acceptance. So moved. Been moved by Councilman Graybon that we approve appropriations 10B. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Miller. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Mandy, would you take a roll call vote, please?
McMillan,
Yes.
Gingler,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Audi,
Yes.
Graybon,
Yes.
Latrell,
Yes.
Ponto,
Yes.
Thank you. We have no ordinances this evening or resolutions, so we'll move on to formal actions.
Don't we have two resolutions?
Whoa.
You don't have the right to revise the agenda?
I don't have the revised agenda.
It's up to you.
So, moving right along, we don't have any. Okay. Now, I have a revised agenda. Still have no revised.
Bottom right hand. Or left hand, I mean.
They give you the right thing.
No
I quit.
resolution.
I said the first time.
Okay, it might look like it sounds, but I'm not a
It might be a sign, Tom. It might be a sign.
I'm gonna pass this meeting over to the council president. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Resolution 2016-15 Falls Tree Care is a contract. We approved this last, but now we're gonna approve the actual contract for the tree clearing in the outlets.
Katie, I've got a question down
Yep.
there on page 2,
Yes? I'm
number
there.
5. On the term.
Yep.
Third sentence, it says contractors required to remain on this job for the city until the services are complete. I know Ronnie had said at the previous meeting that there were some situations where the Falls were working on our jobs, and then a city member wanted them to drop what they were doing and maybe trim a tree of theirs, and they did that. Does that specifically come into play there, that they will stay on the city's jobs until it is complete, and then they can move on to a citizens?
That's what I was trying to get to, yeah. And specifically, I didn't want them to leave town for a couple of months and then,
Good, good.
so that's, and I believe those are the discussions that Ronnie had with him as well, so,
Did they do that the last time? It kind of seemed like it was here for.
yeah.
And Paul Street Service has seen this as well, so.
Any other
I was
questions?
going to leave it accept the resolution.
Been moved by Councilor Miller that we approve the resolution 2016-15 Falls Tree Care LLC contract. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Gingler.
Sarah, we'll go keep my job.
Yes, you gotta keep it moving. Okay, any further discussion? No further discussion. Mandy, would you take a roll call vote, please?
Gingler,
Yes.
Graybon,
Yes.
Ponto,
Yes.
Latrell,
Yes.
McMillan,
Yes.
Audi,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next resolution is 2016-16 is a contract with Pavers Incorporated for East Main in the amount of $1,440,337.89. Any questions for staff?
Motion to approve the resolution.
Second?
Yep, I'll second.
Motion is made by Councilman Graybon that we approve resolution 2016-16, the contract with Pavers Incorporated for $1,440,337.89. Seconded by Councilman McMillan. Is there any further discussion? Mandy, would you take a roll call vote, please?
Latrell,
Yes.
Ponto,
Yes.
Gingler,
Yes.
Graybon,
Yes.
Audi,
Yes.
McMillan,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Thank you. Now, moving on to formal action. Is that right? Okay. The next item on the agenda is Julie McShane and a therapy dog.
Go ahead, yeah. Yeah, you can just bend it up.
Okay. I'm Julie McShane. I may have read about me in the newspaper. I'm from Beloit. Many people know me. I grew up here, but I'm returning to Beloit with my business, which is I'm a licensed master level social worker. I work primarily with children doing play therapy. I was made aware after I made the decision to move back that Rottweilers are prohibited in Beloit, which I completely understand. What I wanted to do is explain how I came across this dog and what his current status is, and what my intentions were, what his future holds, hopefully. And I've got a couple things that I didn't make enough copies because I didn't know how many people would be here, but I don't know if this is stuff that you'd like to pass around. There's some photos, and then there's 5 copies of a report from his personal trainer. Chief is a 2.5-year-old Rottweiler. I got him 1.5 years ago after we had a break-in at my house. I have a 10-year-old daughter who has anxiety, and after this break-in, she was not able to sleep, she wasn't able to eat. I enrolled her in play therapy. She has a therapist, but we had grown up with dogs. I had had a German Shepherd for 15 years. And it was only within a few months before the break-in that we had to put our German Shepherd down. So one of the things that we both felt like would help her feel more safe was to get another dog. This particular dog I chose because of the research that I did on the breed. Again, I'm an experienced dog owner, and I believe in not only safety of people, but safety of animals. You know, to get a breed that has such a reputation or that has such a size or power, I feel like you've got to be extremely responsible pet owner. And so I did a lot of research on the breed. You know, their history is one of cattle herding, which speaks to their demeanor, and they're extremely calm, which is not what we typically think of when we think of this breed. But that's what their history was cattle breeding and pulling meat carts in the market. So what that says about his breed is that they're highly trainable, they're highly eager to please, and they're highly controllable if given the right training. And that's what I have always felt like my responsibility to this dog was. So after I got him, I contacted a trainer. Because first of all, I have a 10-year-old daughter. I'm not going to bring a dangerous animal into my house and I wanted to make sure that he had the training to be safe, for his own safety, you know, and for others. I feel like it's important to have an animal you can control. I'm not a big person. I cannot take a large animal that's out of control out into the community. So I felt like it was important for us to have training. So in going through this with this dog and getting to know him, and being a play therapist myself, I just saw an incredible potential for this animal. His personality is just ridiculously playful. His trainer said that his biggest barrier to training is how happy he is, because he's just so eager to perform. You know, he jumps around and it's his tongue hanging out of his mouth and just looks ridiculous. But he's a very gentle dog, which was what made me think he'd be a perfect therapy dog. I've spoken to some therapists about different therapy dogs and kind of what kind of personality would match for that, because it's just like any job. You know, if it's not a good match, I'm not going to go down that road. Again, I work with children. I would be putting my license on the line to be bringing an animal into a therapy setting that wasn't therapeutic. So, after meeting this dog and working with him and having him for a year and a half, it's my opinion that he was a perfect match to be a therapy dog. And also just in his relationship with my daughter, how he interacts with her, how he's interacted just with the neighborhood and community. I felt like it's important for neighbors to know my pets, just because I grew up in a small town, used to everybody knowing everybody, so we can make sure that we go around and all the neighbors know him and feel comfortable with him, and he's gotten a great response. So he is still he's in training, which the letter from his personal trainer speaks to kind of what we're working on with him. It's an advanced form of training beyond basic obedience called CGC, which is Canine Good Citizen. He hasn't completed it yet, but he's getting pretty close. He's making incredible progress, and that's the first step in him going towards the job which I had intended for him, which was to be a therapy dog. However, I went ahead and aimed higher for him for this and have registered him as a service dog, which will require a little bit more training. It'll require a little bit more skill set, but I think that he has the ability to achieve that. So he is registered with the National Dog Registry for Service Dogs. I don't have his number with me because the certification didn't come yet. But he is registered in that program. Now, to be a service dog, you don't even have to have formal training. I've done a lot of research into that too. You can train your own service dog, and there's a lot of, I guess, animal advocate concern about that, because some people take advantage of that status and certify their dogs just so that they can keep them with them in the store and whatever. And that's not my intention at all. And that's why I got a professional trainer to continue working with him, so that his service training is professional training.
Actually, did you say how long you're expecting this training to last?
Well, there's no set time frame. The CGC training is the first certificate. That's the actual obedience training. Again, with the service dog certification, they don't actually have to have much formal training. But that just goes at whatever rate he can complete it with. And with the pace that he's going, oh my goodness, I would say within a few months he'll have it completed. Because he's just making progress that quickly. And my goal after I move to Beloit is to continue. I'm keeping my private practice open in Wichita, so I'm going to be traveling there weekly. And my goal is to keep him continuing with his personal trainer in the Wichita area until he's completed all of his certifications.
Will that be through AKC as far as a therapy dog training?
Well, no.
Okay.
Well, again, you can technically train your own dog. There's different programs out there, and the AKC does, I think, have one. There's also local places in Wichita that have those types of formal therapy dog trainings.
I mean, because what I was getting at was in some of the research that I did, that for an AKC therapy dog illness, you have to complete 10 visits.
Correct.
To like a school,
Yes.
a nursing home, wherever,
Yes,
you know, and then if you're gonna go all the way up, it takes 400 visits.
right.
I mean, and that
Right.
would take an awful long time.
It
And that's
would.
why- And that's where I would go back to, you know, Matt's question, how long is this gonna take for you
Mhm.
to be, you know, and I don't know what certification you're gonna be going after for your
Right.
dog.
Well, my understanding is that they're certified before they complete those visits even, and that those visits just give them kind of rank as like a junior, senior expert, but they would be certified from the beginning. He would be a certified service dog from the beginning, and then just have a level of rank of how much experience he had.
I'm talking like therapy, to be a therapy dog.
Right. There's,
Because there's a difference, well, I mean, between therapy dog and service dog.
right. And that's why I'm working with him on the service dog certification, 2 steps above therapy dog. I will utilize him in the lower capacities, but I feel like for his best interest, it's better to get him higher certification, and then if I utilize him in lower level therapy settings, then that would be okay.
I have a question for our city attorney. I have the Americans with Disabilities Act pulled up on the computer here, and under section 35.136, service animals, it says, generally, a public entity shall modify its policies, practices, or procedures to permit the use of service animals by an individual with a disability. The exceptions it gives are the animal is out of control and the animal handler cannot take effective action to control it, or the animal is not housebroken. Other than that, I mean, this disability is very broadly defined elsewhere in the thing. There's no way we can tell a person that has a service dog that they can't have it in the city of Wood, is there? Other than if it's not housebroken or beyond control of the owner?
I think if they can give you sufficient proof that it's been through some training and it's like certified is not really what we're looking for, we need actual training, then, and obviously if you don't have any issues, like it's out of control, then yeah, you have to permit service dogs, in my opinion. And I guess my suggestion as far as follow-up is maybe check back in 6 months, kind of see where we're at with things, because this is going to take some time, it sounds like. That'd be my suggestion. I mean, you're going to need a formal action of some sort to permit that, but I think we would need some follow-up, maybe 6 months. And
I have a question for Jason.
Yes, sir.
I'm guessing this is your recommendation when the name is on it.
Yeah.
Setting a timeline for certification on file. Those items, what did you have in mind for a length of time? And
Yeah, I mean, again, I just kind of pulled some stuff out of the air because my kind of like talking to some of you was and making sure it wasn't just, oh yeah, my dog's a therapy dog, or I'm doing this, you know, and we all of a sudden have a dozen Rottweilers or pit bulls in town.
Right.
So,
Which is service dogs.
yeah, I guess now that it seems a little bit like the timetable maybe is a little bit more of a stretched. It sounds like so therapy dog is kind of the base level, then service dog is above that with different levels beyond that.
So then moving forward, like a veteran or someone was assigned a this breed specific type dog, and it's a service dog,
Yeah,
that would be allowable.
that's according to Katie. that's
I
what it
think
sounds
you'd
like.
need some documentation.
Yeah, if they've been through the training and all that, and they have the documentation,
Yeah.
and then that's allowable.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, there's, you know, you go to communities and you see a lot of people, and I'm not picking on veterans, but I know I see those guys and with service animals and things like that, so it's not all that uncommon.
How long a time frame are you looking at, you know, for that, you know, for your Rottweiler to be in training before you're bringing him up here, utilize the word?
Well, in my opinion, that's up to the council, whatever you guys decide. I mean, you know, he's in training, he's certified in training. You know, I know with your city codes, there's already some pretty clear regulations on fencing and housing and leashing and everything for animals. So, I don't know. We were trying to move soon.
I mean, are you looking at 3 months, 4 months?
Before he comes here?
Yeah.
Before he
gets certified?
Oh, before he gets certified.
Yes.
I would say that's my goal, is about 3 months to get the CGC certification. And again, that's the high-level obedience training, which speaks more, in my opinion, to
Yeah.
his.
And I would say that's kind of what I was trying to get at with Lloyd's thing too, is at least something that shows that the effort was made so that when we do have these situations again, we can say, you know, at least this high level 90-day or 6-month course was completed.
So it wouldn't be here until it completes the certification.
I don't know.
Well, that's up to you, that'd be up to you guys.
Yeah.
I would move that we permit her to have her animal here contingent upon completion of the training within 6 months.
And if it's done before then and you've got your certificate,
Yeah,
I mean,
and then after, once you get the certificate, then you have to go back every so often and have the dog recertified? Or is it?
I don't know. I'll have to ask his trainer, because she's the one that would know that. I don't think so. I think once they're certified, they're set, but, you know, I can see at that point, it would need to be something continually recertified, which they may need. I'll ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt, your motion was to allow for 6 months until it obtains its certification. Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Councilman Ponto. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you for coming and visiting.
Thank you.
us.
Thank you, Joey.
Next item on the agenda this evening is a police car bid for a 2017 Dodge Charger in the amount of $24,805. Any questions for Jason or Chief Ewan? I take it there's no questions. I entertain a motion to approve the purchase of the Dodge Charger in the amount of $24,805.
So moved.
Then moved by Councilman Graybon. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Oddie. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Next item on the agenda is a code enforcement hire. Jason, you want to address this on?
Yeah, sure. So remember last week, our last meeting, our conversation, kind of reorganizing that portion of it. So basically we got Doug hired in that position kind of underneath the police department, so it's really no longer a department head position, but we do have him. He's been already to a conference to start learning some of that with Chris. They've been out and about here the first 2 days, still showing up to work the next day, so we haven't scared him off yet. But so Doug Langham is here, so if you right there tonight, so I don't know if anybody knows him or not, but he'll be the one and kind of working with myself and Chris and Dave yet, and kind of just for your perusal here really quick, that we, you know, it's kind of just something we can pass these around. It's kind of what we've been working on here a little bit, trying to get all the different components organized to the right areas. So at least you do know that we are getting that settled out here, and so that's the story on that. Any questions at all, or?
I guess I was a little confused as to what action you need us to take regarding this, because you've already hired.
Well, yeah. I don't know why, it shouldn't have been an action. Yeah, it should have been more like, it was a little nebulous there for a second.
We've been
but-
trying to, at least in my department, I've been trying to bring our new hires in so that they're.
Okay. Yeah, and probably should just come more than
So this is an FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like looking for an action to take, and that's not.
Just say, good job.
That'd be bad if they voted not to hire him.
Yeah.
Creates problems. Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier today too. Welcome aboard. Okay.
That was the easiest formal action ever.
Yeah, sorry.
I feel like I'm new here this evening. We have a park flag study. Is the next item on the agenda. Is that for?
Ronnie's the expert.
No idea.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, well, we got inspected by KDAT, or Kansas Department of Labor, and years ago, we started wearing ArcLight clothing. We never had a study done to know what we're supposed to have, and we kind of got gigged, so we got to have that done and try to satisfy them. It's an OSHA regulation. Some of you guys probably deal with OSHA 7 more than I do. I find out how I like them. But I'm glad to put up with it.
They don't go away.
There's no way.
So you're needing to spend $14,550
For the study, yes. And that will satisfy Kansas Department of Labor, and hopefully it'll